Namaste. Good afternoon. The other day I talked about fear and having none and how to get over fear. And I ran across something today that I want to share with you. It touches on a couple of things. Number one, I mentioned that if you had to live in, because we live in this so-called reality, the reality of the mind and the ego and the family and the society and expectations and parents and jobs, employers, employees, situations, just because they're Maya doesn't relieve you from dealing with them as if they were real. Because I wanted to just do a slightly different take on this idea of reality. Because actually everything is a reflection. Even the mind and body is a reflection of the infinite, isn't it? And to some extent, that makes it real. At least you have to respond to it. If you delve deeper, or you're in the you're in the realized state of selfhood, that thou art understanding. Okay. So, there's a good question. Is it true that if you were enlightened, you would see that all the world events were fake and so have no fear? Well, my lack of fear is not so much that they're fake, it's that they're illusory. And illusory doesn't mean that it doesn't have some bits of reality. But in particular, it's the illusion of being born and dying and this endless cycle of samsara, of suffering, that seems to be our lot in life, is something that is overcome only when you can see it from the point of view of a fully awakened entity. Okay? So let's look at this, and this is another way. This material world is our reality. This is where God put us to live and learn. Yes. At present, spiritual teachings about non-duality are of no practical concern. But there is a higher reality. Talking about the no practical concern, the idea of Maya, is no practical concern for those of us that are involved in the mind-body egoic structure and life as it finds us, I like to say. And it's not a concern for most people, but there is a higher reality. Only enlightened can truly know that God alone exists. Naught else exists. Nothing else exists. Mind and matter both exist at different rates of vibration. Body and mind are two aspects of spirit. Spirit manifested as matter is still spirit. Since spirit exists in matter as well as beyond it, why deny matter? Irrational denial of the existence of matter only creates doubt. In India, we say that matter is not as it appears to us. This dissolves all arguments. All scientific investigations support the fact by showing that what appears to be solid matter is actually composed of invisible electricity, vibration. It is only when we wake from the dreams that we know we have been dreaming. Similarly, this life may be realized as a dream only when we awake in cosmic consciousness. So the dreamer is not aware that he's in a dream until he wakes up, just like sleeping. You're in the dream state and everything seems so real. Yet in the morning when you wake up, you say that, hey, everything was in my mind. And, this is the reality writ large when you understand that indeed everything is just created in your mind, waking or sleeping state. The sages, I am awake is spirit. But whenever God I am awake as spirit. But whenever God commands me to act in His dreamland, I shall willingly try to play whatever comedy or tragedy or beautiful part He wants me to play. This is how I'm living my life now. This is from Paramahansa Yogananda, the first person that had powerful impact on me. Okay? Our universe of solid matter is not what it seems to be. Everything in the material universe is a vibration at various frequencies. There's no solid matter. Matter is an illusion. This is hard for materialists to understand. They want to believe only in what they see and touch. Scientists, right? They fashion themselves to be guided by science, but they obviously do not know much about science. Bingo! Sound is most familiar as a vibration of the air, but sound vibration also travels through water and solids. Radio waves are vibrating electromagnetic waves which make possible radio, TV, cell phones, and guiding spaceship and satellites millions of miles in outer space. Light, gravity, magnetism are vibrations. Solid matter is a vibration. In the early 1900s, scientists discovered the atomic theory of matter. Einstein formulated the theory of relativity. In his equation E equals mc squared. Matter is a form of energy which provides nuclear power plants which convert a small amount of uranium into enormous amounts of energy. We live in a universe of energy. This is modern science. Thoughts are vibrations of energy which make possible telepathy, telekinesis, clairvoyancy, etc. When you pay rent, God receives your thought vibration and can send a response. God created every detail of creation in His cosmic consciousness. Then He vibrated those thoughts and they became vibrations of light energy, which condense into atoms, molecules, and solid matter. The sages of India since ancient times have spoken of the universe as materialization of thought and God. It's only when we wake from dreams that we know we've been dreaming. Similarly, life may be realized as a dream only when we awake in cosmic consciousness. We know that thoughts are invisible, but in dreamland they may be made visible by the force of energy. Only when those thoughts are crystallized by God's cosmic intelligent vibration or energy did they become visible to us as the material universe. Again, this is Paramahansa Yogananda, and thanks to Paramahansa. So here, I think this is a really nice outlook on Maya, illusion, instead of just dismissing out of hand everything that seems real. I hold up this book, my little daytimer. It seems real. This bowl seems real. Hashi or chopsticks or kuaizi in Chinese seem real. My cell phone seems real. Yeah. Air conditioner. My three Buddhas, and the depiction of my three Buddhas. The lights, the bookshelf, my shirt, my mala, my microphone, my glasses. All of this certainly seems real, doesn't it? I'm looking at my Mac computer. I'm looking at the camera. Remember to look in here. Looking at the camera. And the desk in my room is just a myriad of things. My little kitty over here somewhere. I don't know where she is, laying down somewhere. She sure seems real. She's got a name. So yesterday I was talked about names and how important they are, and that we name things so that it creates an identity. It creates a way, first of all, to share. So if we can't name things and there's nowhere to even begin on our path, how can we share without words, without names, with something that tries to encompass or encapsulate or make the illusion more concrete? Because it's really hard. And then, when you get in deep science, you start to understand, as I said, when you really get into science, you start to understand that there's no solid matter, that the universe is essentially space. That I look at my desk and it sure seems solid, but there's a lot more space there than there is substance, than the wood. A lot more. So my head feels solid, but unbeknownst to most of us, our bodies seem solid, but it's ephemeral. And then when you start to get into concepts of gossamer bodies, lesser bodies, light bodies, that they have a gross body that you can see, and then light bodies, and it just seems to be a continuum. Just as the veils of ignorance are lifted, one by one, they start so thick that I'm surprised we can't see through them, right? The veil's blinding us, we can't see through. It just takes the lifting of a few to start even noticing, oh God, there must be something other than what I've assumed to be real. And a final reminder here, remember that everyone sees you differently. You're a different you to everyone that you know. And the you that you know is not you either. So I just wanted to leave you with this thought that just be open, just relax, just cruise, just smile, just love, just laugh.